Hello friends. Yep. We'll wait for a couple of minutes and then we'll start. Yes, guys, we can start now. Like if you have any questions, so you can put it on chat and I will try to reply. Any questions related to automation or XPath, ChroPath, or if you have any challenge in testing, so feel free to ask. Or if you have any suggestions, like which you want, like any as a new feature in ChroPath, so that feel free to ask here. If anyone can confirm, can you guys please anyone confirm? Are you able to hear me? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Swarna. Yes, so please let me know, guys, what you want to know. Anything, any doubt, any question, or if you feel any, are you feeling any difficulty while using ChroPath, or is there any problem while writing XPath, or you want to learn anything regarding that? Okay, looks like no question. Yes, Swarna. So there are like a lot of new features in ChroPath now. So if you have already added ChroPath, So many times I feel like let me start with very basic. People add ChroPath in their browser and they don't and they didn't find the ChroPath. Where is the ChroPath, like in ChroPath where they can see? So if you see here, you right click anywhere. Let's say if you right click here and click on inspect here, and then ChroPath, like many times you won't be able. Many people don't able to see the where is the ChroPath. So here it used to come as a last step. So you can here open ChroPath, and there are a lot of new features. So the very good features are like one is this ChroPath Studio, where you can record all your manual steps here, like your manual testing. If you're doing any basic testing, let's say if so okay, so the very first thing, like you just click on this ChroPath Studio logo, either from here or from here. From two places you can start, and then you just start your basic testing, like whatever you were doing manually. So let's say you want to do a search functionality, so you will see all your steps will be keep recording. Like we search ProPath here in LinkedIn, then we click on people, and or you click on my network or whatever you do, click on home. So all these steps will be recorded in ChroPath, and these steps you can share it with your developer or with your tester. That look, these are the steps you have to test for this functionality. And here you see you will get all those steps, automation steps recorded, like automation command basically along with the XPath. And then here's the website, and a lot of other things are there. And you can also save this as a test case, manual test case, which you can share with anyone. And another good feature is like verify multiple XPath. So till today, like we all were verifying XPath one by one, right? So you have this step. Let's say there is a smart maintenance feature. Click on this. Here you can verify multiple XPath. Let's say you have hundreds of XPath written in your framework, something like this. Let's say this is your normal test case is written, and you want to your couple of XPaths are failing. So what you do, no need to verify one by one, copy all complete thing and paste it in ChroPath. And you see what is your XPath command here. Your XPath command is driver.findElement by.xpath, and wherever XPath is written, replace that with XPath value. That's it, and that you have to pass as a command here. So add command input, and you click on OK. You will see all the XPath from your script has been fetched and verified, and they are telling it. ChroPath is telling you the occurrences of this. So you can verify multiple XPath as well. You can create the page locator space as well, like in few seconds. No need to waste much time. So you, if you click here in the capture button, you click here, and this turn on this command. And now if you, let's say you ask me, Sanjay, write this test case to get all these header locators, or all get all these headers. So you just inspect, click, and you see all your steps are ready. You can click on this, go back to your editor, and you can paste it here. And whatever you want, you can do. Like you want get text, so just add the command get text, and that's it. There you go. So likewise you can do. And if you have something any other framework, like where you used to write add, find, by, those kind of commands, so that is also you can do it here. You can replace this command, and it's very easy. Let's say your command is something like this: add, find, by, and wherever your XPath is written, like here your XPath was like // input. Replace this with XPath value, and this is just one time effort, because this command will be saved in your ChroPath local. And here you, like, let's say that field was product, so whatever keyword is for that XPath, that replace with label value, and this is just one time. Copy this and paste it here and hit enter. You will see all your commands are ready. And now there is a copy all button. Now you can also export is in XLS as well. So you click on this, copy, and this you can paste it in your editor, and there you go. Your complete page is ready just in like single click. So this is how I believe like many people write like this kind of framework. So this you can complete in few seconds. And then there are a lot of other features like iframe feature, which now you can get the iframe. Let me show you here iframe. So now you get the iframe XPath as well as the element XPath just in single click. No need to write the locators for iframe, or like you earlier, you guys were wasting a lot of time while identifying the iframe itself, like inside which iframe it is. So you see, you got the iframe xpath as well as the xpath for the inspected element just in single click. And there's a other means lot many features like you see just in single click you are getting all types of selectors for any element. You need not to worry about, like earlier we used to had to decide like which locator should we use, can we use name, can we use id or not. So now it's giving you all types of selector just in single click in DOM. You see here it everything it is telling you, like relative xpath, class name, css selectors, absolute xpath, tag name, what all selectors are possible for any element just in single click it gives you. And then you can decide which one you want to use. And iframe xpath, of course it is. And then in the new ChroPath, there is a, it used to give you the xpath for svg element. uh, yes, same xpath will work in most of the browsers. If like sometimes it for rare cases, like it used to break for IE browser, and very rarely it will break for Firefox browser. Like XPath will be different in Firefox and Chrome, but most of the time, like 90% of the time, it will be same. So if you find any difficulty in Firefox, also ChroPath is available, so you can add that, and there you can verify that if the XPath is not breaking. And if XPath is breaking, so what I would suggest, like open your website in Firefox and generate XPath for your element in Firefox, and that you can copy and use. So very rarely, hardly it will break there, but most of the time it will work. Here I'm showing that now it ChroPath used to support SVG elements. Earlier you might have heard many times that none of the tools supports SVG elements, and we can't write the XPath for SVG elements. But not anymore. ChroPath supports the SVG element. So if you don't know how to write the XPath for SVG elements or SVG child element, you can learn it from ChroPath. And ChroPath gives SVG elements XPath just in single click like this. So these are the SVG elements. So you can see that it gives you the all the XPath for SVG elements just in single click. Likewise, like you can verify this. You just inspect this element, SVG element, and just in single click it will give you. And in fact, like even Chrome DevTools doesn't give the XPath for SVG element. Like in Chrome DevTool, you right click copy and copy XPath, and if you try to verify that XPath, you will see that 0 of 0 it is showing. So it's even Chrome doesn't give you the unique XPath for SVG elements. So yeah, so it I mean basically you can also learn how to write the XPath for SVG and SVG type child elements from ChroPath. And you will see now ChroPath gives you the better error message, like for if any element XPath can't be generated, so you can ChroPath will give you the proper error message that why can't be XPath is possible for this element. Like this is a header, so this is a comment here, like header, this is a comment. So ChroPath tells you that this is a comment and selectors can't be generated for comment. And let's say you are a beginner and you don't know how to write the selectors, you are trying to write the selector, generating the selectors for such elements, then easily you can just in single click you would be able to understand, okay, why it is not possible and whether it is possible or not to write a selector for this element. You can also, like as a beginner, if you're a beginner and you don't know how to write the selectors and all, and you are you are building your own XPath here in DevTools. So you see, let's say you started building some XPath for this element div double forward slash, and you see that it is scrolling up and down, and you wrote something like text is equal to something like this, and by mistake you missed something. Let's say you are a beginner and you don't know how to write selectors like this, you missed it. So here it will, in DevTools it will show you 0 of 0, but you will think like this is a correct pattern, right? But you will never able to learn this. I'm just showing an example. If you're writing a wrong pattern here in DevTools, you would never able to learn that whether this is a wrong pattern or this is actual zero finding. But in ChroPath, when you will be typing your building your own XPath, ChroPath will suggest you that this is a wrong pattern. Like immediately it will highlight in red color. So you would be able to learn like this is a wrong pattern immediately. Then you will try to figure out what wrong you are typing, and if you hit enter, it will show you invalid pattern. So it's a good learning. You can actually learn better writing better selectors from ChroPath. Like CSS selectors, or XPath. So this helps a lot you to forming and learning your own XPath. And if you trying to build your own XPath, that also it helps a lot, because when we typed here, like in DevTools, when you type, let's say you inspect any element here and you found like this A, when you will type double forward slash A here, in DOM, it used to scroll up and down a lot. So it's tough for you to build your own XPath in elements tab. Multiple times you will have to inspect your own element. But in ChroPath, you see, you type double forward slash A, the element is still in front of you. So you can easily type your XPath and build your XPath. But here in DevTools, like as soon as you type double forward slash A, you see that element gone away. Again, you will have to inspect. So a lot of things you can learn from ChroPath, and it makes a lot easy to for I mean time saves, a lot of time saving is there for you. And now it has another new feature as a text, so you can generate the XPath with text and without text. It helps a lot in those cases where you have a very dynamic website, like e-commerce kind of website, where like text used to change very frequently, like on Amazon, or any website, any those kind of website where the content is very dynamic and you don't want to generate XPath with text. So then there you just uncheck this box. It will suggest you XPath without text. And there is another good feature, like it used to give you the alert for dynamic XPath and dynamic element, that ID is dynamic, class is dynamic. So it used to give add the alert. So you can just uncheck that, whatever suggestion it is, like ID looks dynamic, so uncheck that, it will generate without them. And if you want to generate XPath with your own attribute, that you can pass it here. So it will generate with those attributes. So yes, it will help. It helps a lot. Yeah. So these are like, there are like lot more advanced feature has been added in ChroPath. At any point of time, like you have set your command here and you want to reset to default, you click on this and it will reset everything to the default setting. And then you can start generating your selectors. And if you want single selector view, you can at any time switch to single selector view. So lot more features are there. Yep. I hope I answers your questions. Feel free to add any suggestion or any more questions if you have. Here you can just record if you want only XPath as well. No need to like always record with command. So if you want XPath only, you can record the XPath only. And you want to like verify your anytime you want to edit anything, you can edit here. All these fields are editable. You can delete them, edit them. And if you have only XPath which you want to verify without command, so that also you can do, like click on this smart maintenance button, then there's a edit, click to paste all the XPath. Here you just turn off this command and paste all your XPath like this and click OK. It will verify all the XPaths. This was never possible with anything. It like this was never there, and now you can verify all your XPath in single shot. So yeah, so these are like a lot many features are there. Then there is a copy button, click to copy all. And this is really good feature. The one, this is ChroPath Studio, where you can record all your manual steps. So it's really helpful while doing the while reproducing any bug, or if you're doing the testing of any features. Even if you are a developer, then also it helps you a lot. Like for let's say you are a developer and you want to test your functionality before giving it to the tester, right? So what you can do, you just in single click you turn on this ChroPath Studio here, and then you start doing your testing. Click here, click here, click, and then whatever you want to do. If you have done anything, search. So let's say you now you got, after clicking on this about, you got a bug. Now you need not to reproduce or recall all those steps which you have performed. You need not to note down all these steps, like click here, then do this and that. Even if you do right click and all, it will capture all your actions. You have to just open ChroPath Studio, click save test case, and share this test case with your developer or tester. Like, look, I got this bug because of these steps. You can follow these steps to reproduce the bug, and easily you can save a lot of time. You need not to reproduce the bug. You see that all those steps which we have performed has been recorded. So basically, it's giving you, it's writing the manual test case for you, and your data is ready, your test case is ready. If you get any issue in production, it will be really helpful uh, to save to show as a proof that you have this you have done this testing, and you got all the, if you are an automation engineer and writing the automation script, you have all the steps ready here. So everything, like without doing anything extra, you got everything in your plate. uh, Bharat, hey Sanjay, ChroPath is definitely a wonderful tool, and he has been using it for a long time. What inspired you to come up with this tool? Thank you, Bharat. Yes, so actually, I was in an interview, and interviewer asked me, like, this is just a good story actually behind this invention, and what triggers me, what kicked me to build this tool. So interviewer asked me, like, basically this same thing, like, what, tell me about yourself. So I was telling him, like, I'm an automation engineer and my name is this. So he said, can you write me a piece of code, like, for this page, can you write the automation script? So I started writing the automation script, and like you guys, I was also doing the I mean same thing, Java Selenium, and I was writing locators manually. So as soon as I completed the script, I gave it to him, like, look, okay, I have completed this. So he asked me, like, uh, Sanjay, you call yourself automation engineer, but you are doing your work manually. Like, I got it. Like, you are automating the manual task of of the test engineer, those who are doing it, like, by moving mouse, by clicking and there and there. And now you are writing the code for that to do those commands. But still, you are doing your thing manually, right? Isn't it? So I said, yeah, exactly. And then that triggered somewhere. And after that, like, it's been like, it took around 5, 6 months. I mean, immediately I didn't started working on this, but that used to keep hitting in my mind while writing my automation script. So one day I was sitting with my developer and I found one bug. And then she was like, as soon as you come up with any bug and you go to developer, with that bug, they used to open dev tools here and they do something, a document.query selector, and they will say, look, it's not showing in, means in my system, it is working fine. So same thing would happen with me. And she was writing here some selectors. And I asked her, like, while you are writing the selectors here, can so what is this selector? So she said, like, this is something I mean selectors, basically address of this element. So I asked her, is it possible with Xpath? He said yes. And then from there I started working on it. It took like 6, 7 months, and then the first build came on April 2017. Yep. So yeah, from there it is here. It's a good journey. Thank you, Bharat. I'm working with Salesforce application as it will not click with normal click and always needs to use JavaScript executor. Any suggestion? Yes, so actually in Salesforce application, there are lot many places they use the pseudo DOM. So soon we'll be coming. ChroPath currently doesn't support the pseudo DOM, so very soon we are coming up with that pseudo DOM support. Uh, Currently, actually, like, wherever any application is, I mean, any places where you are not able to click through your like any framework, like. Like Selenium, many times that click doesn't happen, or any whatever framework we are using, with that click is not happening, then it's the best choice to use the JavaScript executor, and that always give us success to click on those elements. So it's a some kind of, I mean, it's good practice to use this. Yeah. And if you write a better selectors, and sometimes, like, if it is not working with your own framework or whatever API you are using, then it's good to go with JavaScript. Try to, sometime you, what you can do, like, try to put some weight before and after and look and see, because what happened when our API, Selenium or any API, automation API, when it tried to look for that element, immediately it didn't find the element. So that's why that used to miss and it got failed. If sometime, and sometime it doesn't click. But Java, with the JavaScript executor, it used to execute that no matter what, like, script is uh, in which way it is flowing, but it will click on that element. So it's good, like it will give you the success always. So nothing harmful there. So you can use that if normal click are not working for some elements. Yeah. And it's also suggested, like in Salesforce application, if you're not able to write the because if those elements are inside pseudo DOM, then don't use the XPath, because XPath will not work over there for pseudo elements. So definitely you will go with the CSS selector. So that is another reason that you are supposed you have to use the JavaScript executor. So that's another reason. Yeah, because XPath doesn't support there. Yes, Priya, it is possible to generate the absolute XPath. So you might have noticed that absolute XPath is also there. Like, 1 minute. If you look at my screen here, so whichever element you inspect here, it will always give you the absolute XPath. So this is the absolute XPath, which goes from this whichever element you have inspected. From there, it will go till HTML, like top level, and it will traverse through all the way from that child element to the parent HTML tag. This is here. So this you can see that this is the absolute XPath. Thank you. Yes, and also, like if you want the, like you don't want to see if you are working with relative XPath or CSS selectors only. So there is a single selector view, so you can choose them like relative XPath or absolute XPath or CSS selectors, like this. So this you can see it here. I hope like you got it. This is the absolute XPath you can use. And as you can see, like earlier, it was a tough time to, I mean, look for those elements. I mean, for each element, what all possible selectors are there. It was really tough. But now it's just in single click, you got to know that what all selectors are possible. Let's say you are a beginner and you just started learning the about the selectors, and you don't know that by clicking on this element, how many types of selectors are possible for this element. You don't know about link text or partial link text, but so from here, you just click on this, you will get to know, you will able to learn, okay, so link text is also possible, partial link text is also possible. Then you will get to know, okay, so this is an anchor tag and this is a link. So you will learn about these things. And the tag name is also there. Though tag name is now deprecated in Selenium, I guess 4 or something I heard. So, but it's still like it will, because in JavaScript and some other frameworks are there where it can work. So yes, so it all gives all types of selectors for any element, what all possible selectors are there. And it gives the occurrences as well along with them. So that's really helpful for anyone, because before, like if you have to use link text, this link team, you had to verify first, you have to make sure that this is a unique link text or partial link text. But now just in single click, you got to know that this is a link text and partial link text. Here you got to know, means when it is showing this alert icon, you have these options, like you can uncheck this ID, it will generate without ID or any of the attribute. And if you want to generate with any specific attribute, let's say you want to generate for with href, so you just pass this href here and hit enter. If that it if with that I mean, basically, like if you want to generate XPath with your own attribute, then in that case, like you can just pass that attribute here. Let's say you want to generate here with item scope, so what you do, you just pass the item scope here, because many people used to have the data ID or QA ID for each element, so that they can interact with the element easily. So you just pass that here. and inspect or just press enter, it will generate XPath with your own attribute. So that really helpful for you. And it's not like you have to set that variable again and again. You just like close the browser and close the DevTools. Next time when you will open ChroPath, you will easily see here that attribute is saved in local. So you need not to save that again. You need not to set that again and again. Once it is set, and it will always be there. So if it will find the item scope attribute for your element which you are trying to generate the element with, it will generate XPath with your attribute. Otherwise, it will go with something else. Yes, thank you, Rintu. Yeah. So yes, so likewise, like there are a lot more features apart from this. So like earlier, it was not possible to generate the selectors for when you inspect any pseudo class. So before earlier, what happened? It doesn't generate the XPath. It means none of the tool used to generate XPath for pseudo elements. But now, what feature DevTools as Chrome has added that if you inspect any pseudo element, it used to basically give its parent element, and with the help of that, ChroPath is now able to generate the XPath for them as well, like pseudo elements. So basically, XPath is not for the pseudo element, but it's for its parent element. So it is able to click on those elements as well. So what was happened earlier, like before, so, I mean, just before like around 10-15 days so far, people were used not able to write the pseudo XPath selectors for pseudo element, and then we used to face a lot of problem. People used to ask why we are not able to. Now it's easy to make them understand. Okay, if you even if you inspect pseudo element, you will get XPath because this is the immediate parent, and pseudo element comes with that, so it is able to perform your actions. And if any element which is comment or something, or any style tag or meta tag or anything for which you it doesn't require you to write the selectors, so then ChroPath suggests you. Shivaram, why did the name tool as ChroPath? Yes, so basically, initially the first build which I launched, it was for ChroPath only that time. So yes, so that time I thought like okay, give the name as a ChroPath, and then initially, I mean, gradually we added the support for Firefox, Chrome, Firefox, sorry, Opera browser, and then Edge browser. So now basically it's available for all these multiple browsers. So if you have like no need to worry about like you need not to come to Chrome only or the Firefox only, whichever browser you are using, you can directly go there and verify your selectors over there. So yes, so yeah, initially because it was for we added I mean I added for Chrome only, so yeah, so that's why it was named as ChroPath. But now it's like okay, omni solution for all the browsers. And it's really helpful if you are building your own XPath, because there is a like many people have this perception in mind that this is an XPath tool. So it's not just a generator, it is the best editor for selectors. So if you see like if you have to write XPath for any element here in DevTools, you will right click as soon as you type something div here, it used to scroll up and down. Your DOM used to scroll up and down, so then again you have to inspect that element. But here in ChroPath you see that easily you can type any XPath, and by looking at left side and then you typed on the right side, it used to highlight the elements which for whichever XPath you are writing. And another good feature is here is uh, in the new version, sorry I missed that. Let's say you're learning, you just started writing automation and you don't know how to write the good XPath and all, right? So many times what people do, they just right click and copy XPath from DevTools, right? And most of the time those XPaths are absolute and using the indexes or dynamic attributes or something, and pretty much very dynamic that you can't use them in your script. And if you use, then your script used to break. And sometimes you will see that these kinds of XPath has been written in your script by mistakes, or like or sometimes people are in hurry, they just copy it from DevTools, right? and your scripts are breaking or something is happening now, and you want to change them. So what you do, you just paste your XPath here in ChroPath and press enter. ChroPath suggests you now the XPath, better XPath for your own XPath. And you see here how good XPath ChroPath is giving. In place of this XPath, you can use this XPath, what ChroPath is suggesting you. So this is really helpful, like this feature. Immediately you got to know, okay, so this is the XPath. Then you can see, now look at the DOM and then you verify that, okay, how ChroPath has built this XPath. So you can learn that in place of this XPath, you can use this kind of XPath, and then you can learn like how to build a better XPath. And you see, let's say suppose somebody asks you in an interview that give me all the links on this page, how many links are there on this page, and XPath for the first link, relative XPath for the first link. What you have to do, you just hit /A in ChroPath, and you got all the links here in you got to know that 73 links are there on this page, and this is the XPath for the first link on this page. As well as you see all the extracted link anchor tags are there here in ChroPath tab. If you do same thing here in DevTools, you see, you got to know that, okay, so there are like so many A matched, it will like, even if those are linked text or not linked, sorry, even if those are linked or not, it will match all everything. So you won't be able to know like how many anchor tags are on there in this page through DevTools. You see 413 it is showing, but this is not an anchor tag, right? It is highlighting this one as well. But here in ChroPath, you got to know that how many links are there. So it make everything possible for you. Even if you type the CSS selector here, it gives you, this is this is a CSS selector pattern, like just tag name. If you type A here, you would never be able to know that how many links are there. You see 5,000, more than 5,000 times A is there in this DOM. So would you be ever able to know that how many XPath or how many anchor tags are there? Were you able to ever verify from here? No. So here, from here in ChroPath, you just type that and it gives you everything. It highlights first matching node in different color, rest of the matching nodes in different color. So yeah, so it really help you. And in fact, like in this was the use case from an interview. Uh, like interview asked the guy that write the script here and get me all these headers. So what he did, like he was in hurry and he was trying to make the unique XPath for this element. But when he typed here /A and hit enter, he saw that like he found that it's showing in different color, green color. Immediately he got to know this is the first matching node. So, this is the XPath for this element, and rest of the element which are matching with this XPath, those are the second, third, and fourth. As you So whenever there's like more than one matching nodes finding for any XPath, if the first matching node is the element which you want, then you can use that XPath. You need not to make the unique one. Immediately he used this XPath and it worked for him, and he did it like without wasting any time. So this like showing element matching elements in different border color, it also it there's a meaningful use case behind that. So it helps a lot. Like if you are in hurry, you can immediately got to know. And if any element is hidden somewhere, if you scroll means hover here, you see that color used to change. I will show you better here. Like let's say here, if you type /h3, you see that element was hidden somewhere, this /h3, that header, this XPath. But as soon as you press enter, it will show you, it will scroll in the viewable area and it will highlight in different color. And when you mouse over on it, it used to give you that, okay, so this H3 XPath is equal to 1 is the first matching node, this one. And if you hover on the second, it used to scroll the UI up and down. So it makes it easy for you. And in fact, like while debugging your script, like because most of the time, what kind of how are means what is the region our script used to fail? The only region is most of the time for UI automation, our script used to fail for only one region, that timeout error or element not found, right? In that case, what we used to do? We always used to copy the XPath and verify them. Copy the selector, verify them whether they are still there or they have UI had changed, so selector got changed. In that case, you just paste that XPath here in ChroPath and immediately you verify, and you will get to know, okay, how many matching nodes are there, which are those elements, everything you got to know from ChroPath. But if you see here, if you verify the same thing here in DevTools and hit enter, you will never get to know that which are those four elements in single go and which is the first matching node. So that makes like ChroPath makes easy debugging of the scripts as well and saves a lot more time there. So basically it saves a lot more time in every use cases for you. Under the table need get a under the table need get data from one particular column of all row. How can I do that? Under the table need get data from one particular column of all rows. How can I do that? So in that case, like you will have to form the XPath like this. So let's say you found this kind of XPath, and so you will have to use indexes, and with the parent you have to make that. And here, let's say, is there any table here? Like, I'm just trying here to form to get your use cases. So let's say here we have to get all these headers. So what you do, like ChroPath has given you some kind of XPath. So here you have to remove the indexes, and you see now it giving all these headers value. What I will do now, so basically you remove something from in your XPath. You will have to change something like remove indexes or add indexes, so that it get you all those values of one column, and then you use find elements method. So you will have to manipulate your XPath like this. So you see the ChroPath was giving this XPath, which is the this element. What I have to do now, I thought like, okay, you ask me, give me all these header values. So basically like one column values. So whatever ChroPath was giving, I just removed this index one because this was the only first row value it was giving. And you asked me like, I want all the rows value. So then I just remove that index and it's giving all the row values. So likewise, you will have to manipulate like your XPath. I hope this helps you, Shiva. You can also form the XPath with a column name. Like you can use whatever is the tag name, and then contains your contains text, your column name, and then double forward slash that row tag, and don't use anything like with the indexes for the next column, so that it don't go for the next column. And that's how you can form the XPath. And if you have the example, you can give it to me, and I will show you how you can form the XPath. Yeah. So yeah. So these were the couple of things. Do you have any more question, anyone? Anyone on the call? Do you have any more questions? And here in the footer, if you see like any times if you have any questions or any feedback or anything you are not able to get it, you have the Slack link here. You can ping me anytime on Slack. You can join the group or Slack channel, and then here is the Git link. Here you can raise any if you have any issue. So you can raise here if you face any challenges or any feedback or any issue is there. You can just raise that issue here in Git. I used to keep on following there follow up there, so that you can use. and this is a ChroPath channel. So here you can join, and any question, feedback, you can reach out to me anytime. All those important links are there. Anytime you face like you're not able to understand how to use this feature, like generating locator for multiple page, you click on this. Here's the video tutorial, so you can see all the video tutorials will be there with all the links here for all the features. Like you are in a smart maintenance feature and you are not able to use that, so here if you hover on, you'll get to know that the tutorial is there. So all the tutorials are there on this channel, so you can subscribe to this channel, and you will see all those how you can make the best use of ChroPath. All those features are there, all those video tutorials are available there, so you can use them. And this is the community form. So if you want to join the community, you can join the community here by clicking on this link, join ChroPath community. So like whenever we come up with any new version, and before that we used to share the sheet with everyone. We take the feedback from ChroPath community, that what all features they want to see in the next version, and if they have any feature requests, so that we used to implement on that. So, and that's how we used to keep growing, and we help community. Auto context, which is the toughest question you have been asked by the subscriber? uh I mean, toughest question. I didn't find so far like that, but yeah. So whenever there's a tough question comes, so I take it as a feedback, and as a feature request. I feel so. I used to always keep try to implement that toughest question in the as a problem with the solution in the next version of Cropa. So that's how I used to take. I can't recall. Yeah, so you see that iframe feature and SVG elements feature. So I used to keep hearing that ChroPath doesn't give you iframe Xpath. Can it gives that? And earlier version it was not there. And sometime back somebody asked like ChroPath doesn't support. And in fact like none of the tool is there. No tool was there in the uh, in WebWord that used to support the SVG elements. So yeah, so those were the tough questions, you can say. But I always take the tough question as the feedback and feature request, and then we used to implement in ChroPath, and yeah, so that's how it is here. Thank you, Suvarna. Thank you, Rinto. So guys, if you have any more question, feel free to ask me. I would request you guys to, if you recently came to know about ChroPath or these features, you can share with everyone. It will help a lot people. And yeah, with that, thank you so much. If you have any question or any feedback, feel free to reach out to me anytime. Uh, Here you can follow me on LinkedIn or Twitter or LinkedIn. So feel free to reach out to me for any kind of questions or any query. You can tag me or tweet me. Okay, guys. So I will end up this session. Thank you. Be safe. Have a good day. Thank you for joining all. This recording will be available on my channel, so you can, if you feel anytime you missed anything, you can check it out. Thank you. Thank you, guys.